Good morning, everybody. Just making sure this was recording. Okay, so today we're going to keep going with fish. We'll probably start something new by the end of the week, but there's so many parts of fish, like I told you guys a billion times before. Today is over cephalopods, which is basically your calamari and squid. And there's probably other cephalopods that people eat, but these two are the most common. So let's get going. Okay, let me move all my stuff out of the way. All right, so this is where we're going to start. Is it presenting? Okay, here we go. So basically it's squid is calamari. So you might have heard the name calamari before, but a lot of people didn't realize that's just squid. And then octopus. Octo meaning 8 legs. Okay, squid, I don't know how many tentacles they have. They have a lot. It's way more than 8. And these are the different types. The one that you'll probably see the most is like this center one. This is just like the prettier squid. Octopus, there's the top, there's the bottom. Both of these, the way they hunt and eat, and it's known that octopus are actually the smartest animal in the ocean. Like they're actually kind of brilliant. So they're harder to catch. The way they eat is they will swim along the bottom, and the way these things swim is jet propulsion. So they suck up water in this big tube, they put their tentacles out and they go like this, and then they spit out the water at the same time. So it's just like a jet. Like these things move pretty quick. The thing with octopus is they hide in really tight spaces on the ocean floor, but they eat live animals. Okay, so these aren't like cleaners, they're not, these are predatory fish. So let's get started because these videos are kind of long. So those are the two things. And the way they eat is they catch things with their tentacles, which have suction cups on them. And then they have a beak, like right here, this is the bottom. They'll have a giant bird beak looking thing that just crushes whatever they want to eat. All right, so these two, this one is how to catch squid. And it's the fastest way they do it now. I mean, you can use a hook and line, but this is a hook and line, but this is how they catch them commercially, and then how to clean them, okay? All right, so all right, you see these? Okay, so basically this is a giant fishing line. This one's going out right now, and they have little tiny fish on them, which are probably fake. The line goes out for miles. Okay, the other ones are reeling in where they catch the squid bites, it gets hooked onto the line, and this giant machine basically just reels it in. If we can zoom in on that. No, can't. Okay, I'll keep going. But you can see, these are the squid. See where my cursor is? See these reddish pink things? Yeah, there you go. So those are the squid. They're basically pulling in on the line. And then once they come up, they just pop off. I don't know the engineering of this, but it's this, once it lands in this giant cage, it's like the hook just comes ripping out of it, and they end up on this cage, and then they end up sliding down in this big trough where they can harvest. Okay, this is the second way. These people caught one, but look how big this is. See it shooting out the water? What? They spit out water. So the thing with tentacles are, they're designed to come off too. It's kind of like a lizard tail. Like they'll come off. One for protection and two, yeah, they make it for protection. But these guys trying to pull this on a boat is pretty funny. Yeah, take off. Yeah. Get a little bit over here. All right, so you see the lines going out with the little fish on them, and then these are coming in, and there's the caught squid, okay? There's lines going out, they drag. Night fishing, pretty much, I believe, is what they say is best for this. Two things that squid can do to get away. One is they're very fast. Two, squid and octopus shoot out ink. So what that does, imagine being in the water, you go after this thing, it blows out this puff of ink. It's basically a smoke screen. Like you can't see through it. It just kind of blinds you. It doesn't kill you or anything, but it just fills the water with black ink and then it takes off. So, and the video just before this, when that thing shot out water to get away, it did ink a couple times. I don't know if you could tell. So, all right, so that's how they catch the squid. And here's what they look like. So here's, once they come up, there they are swimming around. This is at the bottom of the trough. And yeah, see them all the way down the line. And what they'll do is they catch these things. They'll basically just put a knife through it so it, you know, ends it. And then they'll start to process them. But yeah, there's a good video of one squirming around in here. There you go. So this is what they look like up close. They're not very big. These ones are what they call 5 to 7s. Basically, they do measure these things by the inches long. Okay, so that one's pretty long. So that's not a 5 to 7. You know, that's probably 2.5 feet long. Where those little ones you saw before were only a couple inches long, or a few inches long. This is good to eat. Those little ones are a lot more tender, so those would be for your like calamari frying. These big ones, what they'll do is they'll make calamari steaks and stuff out of them, where they like clean them, cut them, and then tenderize them. See how big that thing is? Tenderize them, and then cut them into these little steaks, and then you can cut sticks and stuff out of that and cook it the way you want. Or they'll cook it whole. It just depends on who's catching it. But these are very large squid. Yeah, they're just pulling them right in. So that's 2 ways to catch squid. And then the commercial boat, you know, they catch thousands of pounds of these things, where these guys catch a few 100 pounds, but they're just larger. And you got to remember when it comes to seafood, the larger the animal, the more money you're going to get from it. Okay, so this is how to clean them.
Hi seafood lovers, welcome on another Fishy Friday here at Bart's Fish Tales, and today we do a technical video. And why? Because we received loads of requests from you guys how to clean squid. This is a stunning squid. You can find it all over the world. You can find them in different sizes. This is quite a tall size, but you can find them smaller, middle sized. But the technique I'm going to show you counts for every single squid. And you can divide the squid in 2 parts. It's the head part and the body tube. And the first step we're going to do is remove the head from the body. So you grasp your hand firmly on the tail side, and your other hand you take the head side. You twist a bit, and then the head side, including the innards, will come out.
Huge,
so what I do right now, I lay the tube part over here, and we start with the head part. And actually guys, this is not what you're going to use, except this one. And this is the famous, the ink sac. This is where the black ink is. And actually you can use it to make your risotto black, to make your pasta black, or to make your delicious, stunning black rice.
Okay, you see the ink sac, like he was saying? That's what people will use. They'll take that ink out, and you guys all made pasta. What they would do is when you go to, remember when you guys added your egg to the pasta, they would blend that egg with the ink first, and then add it in, and they'd end up with black pasta. Or they'd add it to risotto, which is a type of rice, which I'll show you guys how to cook that once we do starches. But yeah, that's what they do with it.
So now I take off the ink sac by just pulling it from the inks. Look at this, beautiful. With the help of a little knife. So the next step is I'm going to remove the tentacles, because this is what you can eat. So I take a knife and just above the eyes, so this is actually right here, I'm going to cut it loose. This I'm not going to use. So this whole piece is edible, except this bony piece right here. Here was the rest of the head. And this is the bony piece. You cannot eat it. And I just remove it with my knife. It's a piece of cartilage bone. I take
so that's the beak.
This part. Boom. There we go. Okay, so now I take back this part of the squid, the body tube.
The thing you just took out is
for a funny part. It's this.
The chomper.
It looks like a very thin piece of plastic. We're going to take out this cartilage because you cannot eat it. You need to remove it. So you take it with your hand. You go a little bit in. You give it a bit of a twist. And then you just take it out really gently. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's part of an animal, but you can just discard it. So now it's time for the skin. Actually, you could eat the skin, but many chefs take it away. It looks more beautiful, and it's more easy to pan fry, to grill, to have it on the plancha. So you take your fingers, that's all, and you take a piece of the skin, and you just take the skin off the body. Look at this, how easy. So the squid is clean, and actually what I always do, I take off the wings. You just hold it firm, and I've got one wing here and another wing here. So now the next step, the last step, is cleaning the squid from the inside. So we have a cold running water. So you take out the remains of the innards. I've got a little bit here. A clean body tube of a squid, ready to be prepared. We have cleaned wings, and please guys, feel free, if you want to keep the wings on the body tube, it's all fine. This is just my style. And I've got tentacles. So this could be a start of any delicious, beautiful dish. To be the other technique, leave us a comment down in the box below.
Okay.
Also,
so the typical way to clean or to cook these, I'm going to show you next. No.
I see.
Okay, so there's two traditional ways. Actually, there's many traditional ways. I've cooked this before, deep fried, sauteed in pasta, and there's several Italian dishes. There's one called fritti misti, which is like fried mixture, is what it basically translates to, and it's like, or fritti misti del mar, fried fish of the sea or fried mixture of the sea. And then I've done it where it's sauteed into pasta. I've put it in soups. This is a really cool way. I'm going to show you. I love this Gordon Ramsay tours thing because he goes to all these different countries. There's a lot of shows like this, but these are pretty cool where he catches squid and then they do a stuffed squid. I've done stuffed squid before. I've stuffed it with sausages and fried it. I broiled it, braised it. How you cook it is very important because it can get really tough really fast. So this one is this old Italian guy that makes just fried calamari traditional style, and this one's stuffed. So let's go ahead and start.
I've got just a few days left to crack Vietnamese cooking. This country has nearly 3,000 kilometers of coastline. So I'm heading to the pretty fishing village of Phan Thiet to see what they do with seafood.
So I'm going to skip some of this. Basically, he goes in, they go fishing at night. So he learns that they're in these giant baskets. This is what's amazing with these guys. These things are attracted to light too, I believe. So he gets in this big basket, and it's got 2 lanterns on each side for vision. And this is how they have to go out in the middle of the night and catch these things. But anywho, they're just kind of playing around the beginning part of this. So once it becomes nightfall, he takes over, and they basically use hook and line. They're casting out for these, and there's probably hundreds of these guys out here in these baskets trying to fish for calamari or squid. But I know right around 4 is when they catch it, and we're gonna watch. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful.
There they
Doesn't
are.
get any better than that, does it? I've never seen squid that fresh. Look at them. And now they are doomed for the wok.
We're gonna clean it up now.
Yep.
We're gonna.
Now Seafood Supremo Duke is going to show me a delicious Vietnamese favourite, stuffed squid.
Yeah. So we're gonna use all of it. This is the little
Beak?
beaks right here. Vietnamese loves it.
It's a tooth.
It's a tooth. The outside of it, it's like the membrane to hold the tooth together, so it's crunchy.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
the Vietnamese love
So,
textile.
In English,
yeah.
it's like eating a gum.
There we go.
Yeah, nice. So from snake bones to gums. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, holy moly. Squid shooting, man. According to European, they usually eat that ink, you know? Make
I know.
a black
Risotto.
spaghetti or something like that.
Do you use it here?
No, not yet.
Wow, that's fantastic news.
Don't give them an idea.
That's the first time in Vietnam, okay, I found something you don't eat. Squid ink.
I found something the Brits eat that the Vietnamese don't. But for me, this complex squid dish beats our deep-fried version any day.
50-50, yeah? Tentacles chopped up and 50% of the paw.
Right.
A little bit of garlic
Yep.
and a little bit of ginger as well.
We're gonna stuff the squid and a little bit of fish sauce.
I'm amazed you put fish sauce in there.
Well, I mean, if you don't cook fish sauce in Vietnam, then you're some sort of like foreigners here, eh? And drop it in there, please.
In. Now, the base of the sauce is
Ginger, garlic, and onion.
ginger, garlic, and onion.
Yeah.
Nice. They look fantastic.
Nice touch, Gordon.
I've dressed a few squids in my time.
Right.
Haven't fucking caught many, but I've dressed a few.
Well, you try hard, sire.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dig in and to see if the sea dogs are as impressed with Duke's dish as I am.
I've got the biggest piece of squid in for you.
There we
Here we
go.
are.
The honor of my man right there. Cây nhà lá vườn mà chú.
All right, so what they're doing.
How's the squid?
Phù hợp
You
với
guys see
khẩu
that?
vị của là tất cả anh em mình ngồi
Right,
đây.
right.
He said it's perfect.
Thank you for being so brilliant.
You see how he
We're gonna
stuffed it?
stuff the squid and a little bit of fish sauce.
In. Now, the base of the sauce is
Ginger, garlic, and onion.
ginger, garlic, and onion.
Yeah.
Once they boiled it, just simmered it real quick. You see how it cooked everything all the way through. They made a nice little sauce to put on top. And then what you really need to watch is when this guy bites into this thing. Because it's so tender. Watch. See how it just bites off? That's what you need to look for. If you have squid and you're sitting there chewing on it a lot, that's people who don't know how to cook squid. Okay, this next one.
Today we make fried calamari and with a fresh marinara sauce.
I love this old Italian guy. So he goes through pretty long steps on how to do this. All right. So basically, I'll do this.
Look how beautiful color it come out of this. It's so crunchy. Look like potato chips.
All right.
Over here,
So
and you put inside.
he's going through the same process of how to clean these things. Once he gets them, I wish these ads would stop popping up. Puts them in a bowl, and then I think he's
I want to use oil di oliva. And look a nice color this olio di oliva. Beautiful. The hot pepper, okay?
all right.
Ready? And now my
Right now he's
plum
making the
tomato.
tomato sauce. Onions, garlic, tomatoes, salt, pepper.
A little bit like that. And now we take the calamari and we put on the flour and we mix. Make sure the mix is good with the flour. Okay, after, See, you know, pour it, no come out right. Okay, now I put this, the calamari right over here. I want to finish to take all the flour out. I don't want to know too much flour when I fry in oil. And make sure when you put in oil, the watch got the oil that's really hot. It's really dangerous, you burn yourself. Now we leave it fry the big nice gold color. And
Okay.
make sure to turn once in a while. Got
You guys
this.
see, see how it's frying really hard, lots of bubbles. That is called the crescendo. Well, you're waiting for the crescendo. So you get these real large bubbles, and you'll hear it really loud. The second that stops, that's the crescendo of, and the bubbles cease, take that stuff out of the fryer. That's when it's completely done, okay? And that's what it should look like. A lot of people go by color. You really can't go by color on these things because if your oil's dark, your brown color comes real fast because your oil's burnt. If your oil is not hot enough, it's going to take forever to get those things brown. So you really have to have your oil at the right temperature, and then you want to wait for that crescendo. So it fries real hard, lots of noise, and the second that noise slows down from all the frying bubbles, you take those things out as soon as humanly possible. All right, and then he's just doing a simple, I'm going to show you his plate up. Where's it at? Oh, I thought he plated it. So he just served it with marinara sauce. Okay, so that's how to catch squid. Catch, clean, cook. Like Gordon said, it's very rare that he catches any of these things. So once you have to, I mean, mainly professionals catch these things because they know where to fish for them, what bait to use. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the next one. So now we're going to talk about octopus. This is a whole nother one, and this one's not as long. It's not caught the same way. I have a commercial octopus fishing video on here. And then I got how to cook it grilled, just a whole different way. This is the way I've seen it. I worked at a Japanese steakhouse for about an hour and 6 minutes just because it was crazy and I did not like it. But the one thing I saw on there and how to cook is the grilled octopus. So let's watch this one.
Well, we've just come out of the cut just south of Mandurah in Western Australia, and I'm with the boys from Fremantle Octopus, and we're about to see what these guys can do. Now, these guys get out there and chase them in big numbers, and this is a sustainable fishery, which is awesome, with all these octopus heading back to the fish markets and to the restaurants in WA and around the country.
Got 1,000 pots in the water at the moment.
1,000 in the water, and so you work these on a cycle?
Yeah, every 7 days they get pulled. We pull 350 each day that we go out, so we work 3 days a week. So they're in the water all season, the whole year round. Each time we bring them in, when they start getting a bit of growth, they clean up, so we've got to give them a scrub. We've got a bright orange float that represents the north end of our lines.
We've just pulled up on the first part of the line here, and you haven't done this before, have you, big fella?
No, I haven't been out here before.
Well, we're going
Been out of my comfort zone out here.
We've got Jason and Rob, and up the front we've got Martin, who's the skipper. We're going to just drift along the line, and these guys are going to be pulling them in. We're going to see what happens, and hopefully we can get stuck into it ourselves.
Yeah.
Skipper Martin Paul prepares to grapple the line aboard, and then the hard work for deckhands Rob and Jason will begin. They clear the marker buoys away to get the deck ready for action, and within seconds, the first of the octopus traps are coming aboard. 3 traps together is 1 pot, and there are 50 of these pots per line. Each one weighs in at 50 kilo, and that's not counting all this sand. Bit of an eye-opener. The extra
50 kilos is over 100 pounds. So that's how much those things weigh that those guys are hoisting out.
And it has to be sluiced out with extra salty water, which also provokes the octopus to come out of their traps. And if the trap becomes caught up, the job becomes even more hard work. Not to mention, a lot more dangerous. Good thing the skipper's there to lend a hand. Wow, this is pretty crazy stuff. The guys are going flat to the wall. At the moment, there's loads of sand inside these traps, so what they've got to do is hose it all out. Make sure that these beautiful little crabs, as you can see here, they've got a whole box of them. There's a light that goes on up in here and flashes. So these crabs are the things that actually attract the octopus into the trap. Pretty amazing stuff. baited and set for another drop, the pots have to be cleared away quickly to the stern. It's relentlessly dangerous and hard yakka. But it soon pays off.
From there to our rinse bucket, 5 minutes from there, they go into our ice box.
I tell you what, these guys go at an amazing pace. It's absolutely flat out.
There's no interchange bench to give these boys a spell, and the work calls for skill as well as strength. It's like watching a footy game on fast forward.
Here comes a big one right now. Down on there, through the centre. Brain spike him straight away. Body goes straight in.
It's a pretty standard sort of catch. You've had all the sand and all the, the bad weather.
So they catch these things. They just keep bringing these baskets in. They have to brain spike, which they kill it, put it in the salted water, put it in the rinse water. And then, like you said, in 5 minutes after they're rinsed, they put them straight into the ice chest. So constant work. I mean, very physical labor. But yeah, that's what they do all day. And he said they have 100 lines, and each line has 50 of those crates on it. So just imagine, that's a lot of work. So here's Andrew Zimmern had a cooked grilled octopus.
Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen, and say hello to my little friend. It's a beautiful, fresh Atlantic octopus. I thought I'd walk through Octopus 101 a little bit because this is one of those foods that's delicious, easy to cook at home. It's kind of a set it and forget it item. All over the world, wherever octopus swim, everyone cooks octopus at home. It's just wonderful, and I'm hoping that you get into it too. Now, this is about as large an octopus as you would want to cook at home. While it looks really big, when I stack all of it together, it's about the size of a 2-pound chicken. The octopus has a head, and it has 8 legs, and when you flip it over, it has a small beak. The beak is really the only thing that you want to remove. Just open up this little cavity, and what I've removed is the muscle that controls the beak. The other things...
Yeah, see, it looks really disgusting, but this firms up and gets really good texture to it.
Just clutch them and remove them. This octopus is missing the ink sac. The octopus head is absolutely delicious. Separating it from the body and the legs is actually pretty smart when you cook it because you can remove it when it's tender. We've washed this octopus. There's no need to dry it. So we're just gonna let it come up to temperature together. I'm gonna add some wine. Add some water. Put that water to about 2.5 inches of the top. Add some whole black peppercorns. Season this with salt. I'm gonna place an onion cut in half. I'm gonna add some celery, and I'm just gonna cut that into 2 or 3 inch pieces. I'm gonna add some carrot. Same thing with leek. And all of these vegetables are gonna season the water that the octopus cooks in. Now, some people love to puree fresh tomatoes. I find that slicing the tomatoes in half is just a-okay. All I'm waiting for here is for this to come to a boil so I can turn the heat down to maintain a simmer and just let it go for 2 hours. You can see the gentle pucker of a slow simmer has begun. So at this point, I just put a lid on it. I turn the heat down to low, and I let it cook for an octopus of that size about 2 hours at a slow simmer, and then I let it cool in the cooking liquid. And here's one that I did a couple hours ago and then refrigerated. We ordered a couple of octopuses. We got the total weight we wanted, but we got a small one and a big one. I'm actually gonna grill the legs for this salad. And you see how some stayed intact, but others in the cooking process fell off. Don't let that worry you. But these have dried for a couple of minutes now. I have a little texture on them. So I just put a little bit of olive oil, fresh olive oil, on my plate and brush it onto my grill. Cleans it and helps keep it free of little old sticky bits of food that might interfere with the grilling of my octopus. And I already have seasoned this octopus, so I don't need to add more. So I'm just gonna put that onto my plate because when I take my octopus off, it saves me a step and a little bit of food, and you get the idea. All right, so a couple of plates for our lunch, and you can see here my plates with a little bit of this staple in my house. There's a jar of this in my refrigerator at all times. You don't want to overdress this. You can tell if you've overdressed a salad if there's dressing in the bottom of your bowl. You just put a nice little mound in the middle of each.
Skip.
It's crunchy, it's salty, it's bacony, it's a meat crouton. Oftentimes what I'll do,
there you go.
This dressing
So,
is so fun to drag the
grilled octopus
through, is just add a little drizzle of it.
Salad. And I want you guys to see, do you remember the videos on how to cook the squid? That's a very short, short video. Real quick, or not a short video, but it's a really short cooking time. Whereas this one is combination cooking. So he boils that thing for 2 hours before he simmers it for 2 hours. I take that back. He brings it to a boil and lets it simmer for 2 hours to basically cook it all the way through and then break it back down. It takes it out and then grills it. So he's cooking it 2 different ways in here. So that's octopus. I think that's the end of, yeah. So we're going to stop there. I know it was a long one, but that's 2 different ocean animals that I want you guys to see how to cook and how to work with it. We can get squid here, but it's like frozen, packed. I mean, they don't have anything fresh like they saw in the video. And octopus, I don't even know if you can get octopus here. You probably can if you go to like Saraga or like an international grocery store, but it's not a very common one. So that's cephalopods. I hope you enjoyed it.